The day the sky lit up with strange lights was the day everything changed for Earth. It was a Tuesday, just like any other, when the massive alien ships appeared in the atmosphere. They hung there, silent and intimidating, their metal surfaces gleaming in the sunlight. World leaders scrambled to respond. Emergency meetings were called, and military forces around the globe went on high alert. But what could they do against visitors from beyond the stars? As panic began to spread among the people of Earth, a message came from the largest ship. It was broadcast on every TV channel, radio station, and digital screen worldwide. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Empire, and they came with an offer of peaceful integration into their vast interstellar community. President Sarah Chen of the United World Council took charge. She was a small woman with a strong voice and even stronger will. "We need to buy time," she told her advisors. "We're not ready for this, but we can't show weakness." Chen requested a face-to-face meeting with the alien leaders. To everyone's surprise, the Galactic Empire agreed. They chose a neutral location, a field in Central Africa, far from any major cities. On the day of the meeting, Chen stood tall despite the nerves churning in her stomach. She watched as a sleek shuttle descended from the mothership, kicking up dust as it landed. The door opened, and out stepped three alien beings. They were tall and slender, with pale blue skin and large, dark eyes. They wore shimmering robes that seemed to change color with every movement. The leader introduced himself as High Commander Zax Troll of the Galactic Empire. "We welcome Earth to the galactic community," Zax Troll said, his voice oddly melodious. "Your planet will benefit greatly from our advanced technology and culture." Chen listened politely, but her eyes were hard. When Zax Troll finished speaking, she took a deep breath and delivered the message she and her team had carefully prepared. "High Commander," she said, her voice clear and firm. "On behalf of Earth and all its people, I have only one thing to say. Stay away from Earth." Zax Troll blinked his large eyes, clearly taken aback. "I don't understand," he said. "We're offering you the stars." Chen shook her head. "What you're offering is the end of our independence. We've seen this story play out in our own history too many times. Your peaceful integration is just another word for conquest." The alien leader's face darkened. "You're making a grave mistake," he warned. "The Empire's reach is vast. We could crush your primitive world without effort." But Chen stood her ground. "Perhaps," she admitted, "but you'd regret it. Earth isn't what it seems. We have secrets and strengths you can't imagine. This is your only warning. Leave us alone or face the consequences." For a moment, tension crackled in the air between them. Then Zax Troll laughed, a high tinkling sound. "How quaint," he said. "Your bravery is admirable, but misplaced. We'll give you time to reconsider your unwise decision." With that, the aliens turned and boarded their shuttle. As it took off, Chen watched with a mixture of relief and dread. She had done what she could, but would it be enough? Back in the war room, Chen briefed her team. "They didn't listen," she said grimly. "We need to prepare for the worst." General Okonkwo, her top military advisor, nodded. "The secret projects?" he asked. "Activate them all," Chen ordered, "and pray they're ready in time." As night fell, the alien ships still loomed in the sky, a constant reminder of the threat they faced. But unknown to the Galactic Empire, deep beneath the Earth's surface, in hidden bunkers and secret labs, humanity's greatest weapons were stirring to life. The Empire had made a crucial mistake. They had dismissed Earth as primitive, ignoring the one warning they were given. Soon, they would learn just how costly that mistake would be. 2 weeks after the tense meeting between President Chen and High Commander Zax Troll, the skies over Earth changed again. The Galactic Empire's ships, which had been silently watching from above, suddenly burst into action. It started with a flash of light over New York City. In seconds, the Statue of Liberty crumbled to dust. Similar attacks hit landmarks around the world: the Eiffel Tower, the Taj Mahal, the Great Wall of China. The message was clear. The empire was done waiting. General Okonkwo rushed into President Chen's office, his face grim. "It's happening," he said. "They're attacking major cities on every continent." Chen nodded, her face set in determined lines. "Activate all defenses. It's time to show them what Earth can do." But Earth's conventional weapons seemed useless against the alien technology. Fighter jets were swatted from the sky like flies. Tanks and artillery were vaporized before they could even fire. The Empire's ships moved with impossible speed, raining down destruction wherever they went. In London, Sarah Thompson huddled in her basement with her family, listening to the sounds of chaos above. The radio crackled with reports of devastation from around the world. "Is this the end?" her young son asked, his eyes wide with fear. Sarah hugged him close. "No, sweetheart," she said, trying to sound braver than she felt. "Humanity has faced tough times before. We'll get through this too." Meanwhile, in a secret bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, a team of scientists worked frantically. Dr. Amit Patel, the lead researcher, stared at his computer screen, his eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. "We're close," he muttered. "So close. We just need a little more time." But time was running out. The alien forces were advancing rapidly. In just 3 days, they had taken control of most major cities. Millions were dead or missing. Those who survived fled to the countryside or went into hiding. The Galactic Empire seemed unstoppable. Their weapons were beyond anything Earth had ever seen. They had ships that could turn invisible, robots that could repair themselves, and energy beams that could level entire city blocks. High Commander Zach Strahl watched the invasion from his command ship, a smug smile on his face. "See how easily they fall," he told his officers. "These humans are nothing but primitive savages. They should have accepted our generous offer." But even as he spoke, signs of trouble were beginning to appear. Reports came in of unexpected resistance. A squad of alien troops had gone missing in the Amazon rainforest. An Imperial shuttle had crashed mysteriously over the Siberian tundra. And in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, something large was moving, something the Empire's scanners couldn't identify. President Chen received these reports with grim satisfaction. "It's starting," she told General Okonkwo. "Activate Phase 2. Across the world, hidden facilities rumbled to life. In the Australian outback, a massive antenna array pointed towards the stars. Beneath the ice of Antarctica, engines of impossible size began to warm up. And in labs and bunkers on every continent, weapons that defied the laws of physics were prepared for battle. The invasion had caught humanity off guard, but not unprepared. For decades, Earth's governments had been secretly preparing for this day. They had reverse-engineered crashed alien ships, developed technologies beyond human understanding, and trained soldiers in ways of fighting that no one could imagine. Now, as the Galactic Empire thought victory was within their grasp, humanity was ready to reveal its true strength. The warning had been ignored, and the price would be high. In New Delhi, as alien ships darkened the sky, an old man looked up and smiled. He turned to his granddaughter and said, "Watch closely, child. You're about to see why they should have listened when we told them to stay away." The real battle for Earth was about to begin. The Galactic Empire's invasion of Earth had been going smoothly, too smoothly. High Commander Zach Strahl was starting to feel uneasy. Something wasn't right. "Report," he barked at his second-in-command, Officer Vexnar. Vexnar's antennae twitched nervously. "Sir, we've lost contact with our forces in several areas. The Amazon, Siberia, and the Pacific Ocean are silent." Zach Strahl's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Nothing on this primitive planet could defy our technology." But he was wrong. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a group of aliens lay unconscious, tangled in vines that seemed to move on their own. Indigenous warriors watched from the trees, their bodies painted with glowing symbols. Meanwhile, in Siberia, a team of Russian scientists activated a device that looked like a Tesla coil. It hummed to life, sending out invisible waves that scrambled the aliens' communication systems and short-circuited their weapons. And deep in the Pacific, a massive shape rose from the depths. It was a submarine unlike any other, built with a combination of advanced human engineering and reverse-engineered alien tech. Its captain, Admiral Yuki Tanaka, gave the order: launch countermeasures. Across the globe, humanity began to fight back in ways the Galactic Empire never expected. In Egypt, the ancient pyramids suddenly came to life, emitting a golden force field that repelled alien ships. In the streets of New York, ordinary people discovered they could lift cars and leap buildings as if gravity had changed for them. Dr. Amit Patel, working in his underground lab, finally had a breakthrough. Eureka! He shouted, startling his team. The quantum entanglement device is ready. Within hours, military bases around the world received new weapons. Soldiers hefted rifles that fired bullets that could phase through alien armor. Fighter pilots climbed into jets equipped with engines that could bend space-time. The tide of the war began to turn. In London, Sarah Thompson emerged from her basement to find the alien forces retreating. She watched in awe as a group of teenagers used what looked like magic wands to send energy blasts at the invaders. "Mum, look," her son cried, pointing at the sky. A squadron of Earth fighters zoomed past, engaged in a dogfight with alien ships. But these weren't ordinary planes. They twisted impossible in midair, vanished and reappeared, leaving confused aliens in their wake. High Commander Zach Strull couldn't believe the reports he was receiving. "How is this possible?" he roared. "They're just humans." Officer Vexnar shook his head. "Sir, we're detecting energy signatures we've never seen before. It's as if the planet itself is fighting back." And in a way it was. The secret projects humanity had been working on weren't just weapons. They were ways to tap into Earth's hidden powers, abilities that had lain dormant for millennia. In the Oval Office, President Chen allowed herself a small smile as she read the latest reports. "General Okonkwo," she said, "I think it's time for Phase 3. The general nodded grimly. "Are you sure, Madam President? Once we start, there's no going back." Chen's eyes were steel. They had their chance to leave. Now we show them why they should have listened. As the orders went out, something incredible happened. The ground beneath major cities began to shift. In Tokyo, Beijing, Lagos, and Rio de Janeiro, skyscrapers rearranged themselves into massive humanoid shapes. These city-sized robots rose, ready to battle the alien ships. High above Earth, Zach Strull watched in horror as his invasion force was slowly but surely being pushed back. For the first time, he felt a flicker of fear. What were these humans? What had his empire gotten itself into? As alarms blared on his ship, Zach Strull realized the terrible truth. They hadn't been invading a primitive planet. They had awakened a sleeping giant. And Earth was angry. As the battle raged on, something unprecedented began to happen. It started with a slight tremor, barely noticeable amidst the chaos of war. But soon, it grew impossible to ignore. The Earth was waking up. In the heart of Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro shuddered and split open. But instead of lava, a blinding light erupted from its peak. Similar phenomena occurred at other major landmarks: the Grand Canyon in America, Uluru in Australia, and Mount Fuji in Japan. Each site became a beacon of energy, pulsing in sync with a rhythm as old as the planet itself. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a geologist working at a secret facility in the Andes, stared at her instruments in disbelief. "It's as if the Earth is alive," she whispered to her colleague. Her words were truer than she knew. The planet, sensing the threat to its inhabitants, had activated ancient defense mechanisms buried deep within its core. And as the Earth awoke, so did the latent abilities in its people. All around the world, ordinary humans found themselves changing. A farmer in Iowa discovered he could control the growth of his crops with a thought. A fisherman in Indonesia suddenly understood the language of the sea. A young girl in Siberia realized she could shape ice and snow with her mind. These new abilities manifested differently in each person, tied to their connection with the earth and their surroundings. It was as if humanity was remembering skills it had forgotten eons ago. In New York, Sarah Thompson watched in awe as her son levitated toys in their living room. "Mom, look what I can do," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement and a hint of otherworldly knowledge. Meanwhile, in the secret bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Amit Patel made another startling discovery. The quantum entanglement device he had created was now linking with the Earth's energy grid, amplifying its power beyond anything he had imagined. "We're not just fighting the aliens," he realized. "We're channeling the planet itself." High Commander Zach Strahl of the Galactic Empire was in a state of panic. Nothing in his extensive military experience had prepared him for this. His ships were being swatted from the sky by giant hands made of stone and earth. His ground troops were sinking into suddenly liquefied streets or being entangled by rapidly growing vines. "This is impossible," he roared, slamming his fist on the control panel. No primitive species could have this kind of power. But the evidence was undeniable. Humanity, empowered by the Earth itself, was pushing back the invasion with increasing force. In Washington, D.C., President Chen felt a surge of energy course through her body. She found she could sense the pulse of the entire planet, feeling the ebb and flow of the battle in real time. With this new awareness, she began coordinating Earth's defenses with unprecedented efficiency. "General Okonkwo," she said, her eyes glowing with an inner light, "it's time to take the fight to them. Prepare for a counterattack." The general, who had discovered he could now communicate telepathically with all Earth's military forces, nodded in agreement. "Yes, Madam President. The Earth is ready." As word spread of humanity's awakening powers, hope blossomed even in the most war-torn areas. People emerged from hiding, ready to join the fight with their newfound abilities. The Galactic Empire's once unstoppable invasion force found itself retreating on all fronts. In orbit, Zach Strahl watched with growing dread as the blue planet below seemed to shimmer with power. The oceans churned, the continents shifted, and the very air crackled with energy. Earth was no longer just a planet. It had become a living weapon, wielded by a species that had rediscovered its true potential. As his ship's alarms blared warnings of another incoming attack, Zach Strahl realized the terrible truth. They hadn't just invaded a planet. They had awakened an ancient power, one that had been sleeping for millennia, waiting for the moment to reveal itself. And now, that power was coming for them. With the Earth awake and humanity empowered, the time had come to push back against the Galactic Empire. President Chen, her eyes glowing with the planet's energy, called a meeting of world leaders. They gathered not in person, but through a psychic link that spanned the globe. Today, Chen's voice resonated in their minds. "We take the fight to the stars." Operation Earthrise began at dawn. In orbit, the space around Earth shimmered as thousands of hidden satellites activated. These weren't ordinary satellites, but a network of advanced weapons platforms that had been disguised as space junk. They came to life, firing beams of concentrated Earth energy at the alien fleet. On the ground, Dr. Amit Patel and his team put the finishing touches on their greatest creation. In a vast underground hangar, a massive ship stood ready. It combined reverse-engineered alien tech with Earth's newfound power. "The Terra Nova is ready for launch," Patel reported, his voice filled with pride and anticipation. Around the world, similar scenes played out. In the Sahara, a pyramid rose from the sand, revealing itself to be an ancient spacecraft. From the depths of the Mariana Trench, a fleet of sleek, organic-looking ships emerged. In the heart of the Amazon, trees wove themselves into living vessels, ready to sail the cosmic seas. Humanity's counterattack was multi-pronged and relentless. Sarah Thompson, The London mother who had hidden in her basement just days ago now found herself piloting one of Earth's new fighters. Her son's voice came through the comm. "Go get him, Mom." She smiled, feeling the power of the Earth flow through her as she led her squadron into battle. In New Delhi, a group of yoga masters levitated above the city, their combined mental energy creating a force field that repelled alien attacks. Meanwhile, Maasai warriors in Kenya discovered they could summon and control lightning, using it to short-circuit enemy ships. The Galactic Empire was caught completely off guard. High Commander Zax Troll watched in horror as his mighty fleet was decimated by weapons and abilities he couldn't comprehend. "How is this possible?" he screamed, his composure finally breaking. They were primitives, savages. Officer Vexnar, monitoring the battle, turned to his commander with fear in his eyes. "Sir, we've gravely underestimated them. These humans, they're not just fighting us. They've bonded with their planet. They've become something more." Indeed, as the battle raged on, humanity continued to evolve. People found they could breathe in space, communicate across vast distances, and manipulate matter at will. It was as if the entire species was undergoing a rapid evolution, guided by the Earth itself. The Terra Nova, Earth's flagship, led the charge into the heart of the alien fleet. Dr. Patel, now its chief engineer, marveled at how seamlessly the crew worked with the ship. It was more than a vessel. It was an extension of Earth and humanity's will. President Chen, coordinating the global effort from the White House, felt a surge of pride. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and was rising to meet it. The Earth had given them the power, but it was human ingenuity, courage, and unity that was winning this war. As the battle turned decisively in Earth's favor, alien ships began to retreat. Those that could flood into deep space, carrying with them tales of a terrible awakened power. High Commander Zax Troll, his ship crippled and his invasion in ruins, finally understood the grave error he had made. The warning he had dismissed so casually now echoed in his mind. Stay away from Earth. But it was too late. Humanity, once thought to be easy prey, had become the hunter. And they were coming for the Empire. As the last alien ships disappeared from Earth's skies, a cheer went up around the world. But President Chen and the other leaders knew this was just the beginning. They had defended their home, but now a galaxy of possibilities and potential threats lay before them. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and the Galactic Empire would soon learn that the species they had underestimated was now ready to change the cosmic order forever. The moment had come. Earth was ready to end this war once and for all. President Chen, her eyes glowing with determination, gave the order, launched the final assault. In orbit, the greatest space battle in Earth's history began. The sky lit up with explosions as Earth's fleet, a mix of advanced human tech and living ships grown from the planet itself, clashed with the remaining Galactic Empire forces. Sarah Thompson, now an ace pilot, led a squadron of fighters that could change shape at will. "Form up," she commanded. "Let's show these aliens what Earth can do." Her son, watching from a bunker below, cheered as he saw his mother's ship transform into a giant metallic eagle. Dr. Amit Patel, aboard the Terra Nova, Earth's flagship, worked frantically to keep their systems online. "The quantum shields are holding," he reported, "but the Empire's main battleship is tough." Indeed, High Commander Zax Troll had gathered his remaining forces around his massive command ship. It was easily the size of a small moon, bristling with weapons. "We will not be defeated by these upstart apes," he raged. But Zax Troll had underestimated Earth one last time. From the surface of the planet, great beams of energy shot up into space, the landmarks that the Empire had tried to destroy at the start of the invasion. The pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, Uluru, were now revealed as ancient power nodes. They channeled the Earth's energy directly into the battle. In New York, the Statue of Liberty, once destroyed, reformed itself. But now it was alive, a colossal guardian that reached up and swatted alien ships from the sky. The tide of battle turned. Earth's ships, powered by the planet's energy and the collective will of humanity, tore through the Empire's defenses. Sarah led her squadron in a daring attack on Zaxtrel's ship, dodging energy beams and missiles. "Now," Sarah shouted. Her fighters released a swarm of nanobots that ate through the enemy ship's hull like acid. Aboard his failing vessel, Zaxtrel watched in disbelief as his mighty armada was decimated. "Impossible," he muttered. "We are the Galactic Empire. We cannot be defeated by humans." Officer Vexnar finished, a note of awe in his voice. "Sir, I think it's time we considered surrender." But it was too late for that. The Terra Nova, piloted by President Chen herself, broke through the enemy lines. The ship glowed with power, more energy than the Empire had ever seen in one place. "This is for Earth," Chen said calmly. She pressed a button, and a beam of pure planetary energy lanced out, cutting Zaxtrel's ship in half. The explosion was visible from the surface of Earth. Cheers erupted around the world as people realized what it meant: victory. In the aftermath, the remaining Imperial ships fled or surrendered. Sarah landed her fighter and rushed to hug her son. Dr. Pottle emerged from the Terra Nova, blinking in the sunlight of a free Earth. President Chen addressed the world. Her voice carried on winds that circled the globe. "People of Earth," she said, "we have won. But this is not just a victory over an enemy. It's the beginning of a new era for humanity." As she spoke, the changes that had come over Earth and its people solidified. Humans found they could still access their new powers, their connection to the planet permanent. The alien technology they had captured promised to solve problems like hunger and disease. And in orbit, the wreckage of the Empire's fleet served as a reminder and a warning. Earth was no longer a hidden backwater, but a power to be reckoned with. As night fell, people around the world looked up at the stars. But now, instead of fear, they felt excitement. The galaxy was open to them, full of wonders to explore and new civilizations to meet. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever. The Galactic Empire had ignored Earth's warning and paid the ultimate price. Now the rest of the universe would learn to respect the small blue planet that had defeated an empire. The adventure was just beginning. 5 years had passed since Earth's victory over the Galactic Empire. The planet had changed in ways no one could have imagined before the invasion. Cities around the world now featured impossible architecture, buildings that floated in the air and structures that seemed to defy gravity. In New York, the rebuilt Statue of Liberty stood guard, occasionally walking around the harbor to the delight of tourists. Sarah Thompson, once a scared mother hiding in a London basement, was now Captain Thompson of the Earth Exploration Fleet. She stood on the bridge of her ship, the HSS Curiosity, ready for another journey into deep space. "Mom, don't forget to bring me back a souvenir," her son's hologram said, grinning. Sarah smiled. "I'll try, sweetheart. Maybe a rock from an alien world this time." As her ship prepared to leave Earth's orbit, Sarah reflected on how much had changed. Humanity had not only defended itself, but had also taken its place among the stars. Meanwhile, in the newly constructed Global Cooperation Center in Geneva, President Chen, now serving her third term, met with leaders from across the galaxy. The room was a mix of humans and various alien species, all gathered to discuss trade, cultural exchange, and mutual defense. "Earth extends its hand in friendship," Chen said, her voice translated instantly into a dozen alien languages. "But let us be clear, we will defend ourselves and our allies with all the power at our disposal." The aliens murmured in agreement. Earth's reputation had spread quickly through the galaxy. The planet that had defeated the mighty Galactic Empire was not to be trifled with. In his lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Amit Patel worked on his latest project. He was combining Earth's newfound energy with alien tech to create a device that could terraform barren planets. "Imagine," he told his team excitedly, We could create new homes for species whose worlds have been destroyed. We could bring life to the galaxy. His excitement was interrupted by an alarm. One of his assistants called out, "Dr. Patel, we're detecting a massive energy signature at the edge of the solar system. In orbit, Earth's defense grid activated automatically. The planet's surface began to glow as it channeled energy to its guardians." But the newcomer sent a message of peace. It was a representative from a distant galactic federation, drawn by tales of the small planet that had changed the balance of power in the universe. As the alien ship approached, escorted by Earth vessels, people around the world watched their screens in anticipation. This was no longer a cause for fear, but for excitement. What new wonders would this encounter bring? In a small village in Africa, an elder gathered children around. "Let me tell you a story," she began, "about how our world changed forever. It started when the stars fell from the sky, and the earth itself awoke." Her tale was interrupted by gasps of wonder. Above them, the sky shimmered as a massive, beautiful alien ship entered Earth's atmosphere, its design unlike anything seen before. On the other side of the world, in what was once Area 51, but was now a public research center, scientists prepared to welcome the new visitors. Translators were ready, diplomats stood by, and Earth's greatest minds gathered to exchange knowledge with their galactic counterparts. As the ship landed, President Chen stepped forward to greet the aliens. Behind her stood General Okonkwo, Sarah Thompson, who had been recalled for this historic moment, and Dr. Patel. They represented Earth's strength, exploration spirit, and scientific prowess. The ship's door opened, and a being of light stepped out. It spoke, its words echoing in everyone's minds. "Greetings, people of Earth. We have come to learn, and to offer you a place among the stars." Chen smiled. This was the moment they had been preparing for. Earth was ready not just to join the galactic community, but to lead it. The warning that had once been a desperate plea, "Stay away from Earth," had become a beacon, drawing the curious and the peaceful from across the cosmos. As humans and aliens began to mingle, sharing stories and knowledge, one thing became clear: the age of Earth's isolation was over. A new chapter in galactic history was beginning, and humanity would write it alongside new friends from the farthest reaches of space. The universe would never be the same again.